Good evening, Kansas. Welcome back to another week of esports for the University of Kansas. My name is Andrew, and I will be one of your hosts tonight. The other host, Brandon, the coach of the League of Legends varsity team, will be joining me after draft is done. Now, kicking us off, we are in the Power Esports Conference, and we are currently sitting at semifinals. We're going to be going up against Ohio State University in this best of three, and whoever moves on will be going up to the finals that is also going to be determined tonight. So Kansas is in the first seed, and we did beat them going into the last time that we played against them. I believe it was week 7 of regular play. I may have to be corrected on that though. And I do believe we are going to be hopping in a draft here shortly. And while I don't have the points pulled up here with me, I'm sure that once we get into drafts, some things will start to look pretty familiar for our regular viewers, I should say. And I think the biggest point that we're going to have to be looking out for is Kansas's bot side, as always. While I don't have the stats in front of me, I do know that both let me pull it up here. I do know that Bingster is running a lot of way games as of late, and Archive is sitting well with the Rel. So that could be a very nasty combo if they are wanting to be able to push that through. If not, we can see a lot of very common stuff, such as the Yunara and Lulu or Ezreal Karma. Now, I am seeing over my shoulder that we are about to be going into uh we're about to be moving into it, but I want to make it clear that these are the semifinals and this will be a best of 3, and I do hope that we will see all 3 games. Last time we beat them 2-0. Hopefully we'll go to a game 3 just cuz who doesn't love a lot of League of Legends, but it could be another very swift 2-0. And we are moving into draft now. And KU does have the blue side, which also means that they will be getting first pick. So we will be waiting to see what they will be drawing out for the first bands. And actually, it looks like we're still waiting. I stand corrected on that. But I do want to also point out Hashua, who anyone who has looked at his stat profile in the, probably last couple years knows that he is a Kassadin one trick. Odds that will go through? Never. Never expect a Hashua, at least game 1, Kassadin pick, but maybe we can cross our fingers for it. Oh, it did happen once? Okay, well, maybe. We'll cross our fingers for it, knock on some wood, as we are moving into draft. And it looks like we are now ready. We're going to be... Kansas will be picking the first ban, which is going to be... I am waving my fingers right now. I am going to say it is going to be a Yunara. Yunara. I don't know. But there are a lot of things to be on the lookout for when we go into these drafting steps. And while I wish I had Ohio State's OP.GG's pulled up in front of me, I sadly do not. But I do have Kansas's. So we can expect Ohio State to probably ban out that Kassadin. And honestly, JV hasn't been in a good amount of games on Gnar as of late. So that could be a potential ban to look out for, or a potential pickup for Kansas if they want to put in a very good engage on the top side with the Mega Gnar ultimate. And I've already talked about the Hui and the Rel, but we also do know that Karasku does love his Mundo, and if Mundo does go through, we can very much so expect a Mundo pick here in Game 1, depending on how Brandon wants to move this comp. But how it looks right now is we're still waiting on this draft. So these are all a bunch of hypotheticals. And I do hope that we can get moving into it soon because I'm very lonely and I want Brandon here with me. It's we will be right back though as we still wait for this draft. Sit tight and we'll be here soon. What's the issue going? Right. No, the stats for and us. All right, welcome back. We are going straight into draft, and we see that the first ban from Kansas is going to be the Gwen, followed up by Ohio State's Cassidy. I feel like this Cassidy ban was expected. We're also going to see the Ivern ban on the side of the jungler, and we're going to be taking out Orianna. Orianna is a devastating champion to anybody who wants to go against that, because you will just get messed up by that shockwave. We're going to see the Wave band out and the Jinx from Ohio State and Kansas, respectively. And like I said, we will be seeing this Mundo instantly locked in on the side of Kansas because it is one of Archives, or not Archives, Karasku's best picks and one of the ones that he has the highest win rate on. And Ohio State is going to follow it up with the Yunara, which Yunara is such a strong champ, instantly followed up by the Lulu. That is standard protocol, and wouldn't expect anything less whenever Yunara gets pushed through the ban phase. Now, Kansas is going to take a second here. It looks like they are going to be thinking about what they want to do about this bot lane, because they can't give any other bans away to it. But it does look like they're going to be locking in the Mbessa for the top side. And that could be a pretty good answer to get on top of this back line that that Ohio State has set up here for themselves. And I am probably thinking that this is going to be a ADC lock, just because it would be very bad to give away more ADC picks to the side of Ohio State. And I am right. We are going to see that Ashe. The only problem with that is we are going to probably see Seraphine blocked by Ohio State, so they're not going to get the highest synergy they can out of it. But that is perfectly okay, because there will be other alternatives like the Sona or the Milio. We are going to see, though, the Renekton as the answer to the Mbessa. Pretty standard. This is about as standard as a draft can get so far. And I do think, I do like that Renekton answer into the Mbessa is pretty cut and clean. Now we are going to be moving into the second wave of bans, and Ohio State is going to be, of course, banning away that Seraphine. You can't let it go through when they have the Ashe. It is just way too strong to let it get through. You're asking yourself to get punished, essentially. The only viable way that you could get around is if you want to go Ezreal Karma or something of the sorts. But we have seen in LCK how that worked with the Camille lock-in. We are going to see a Twisted Fate ban on the side of Kansas, giving respect to Ohio State's mid laner, who does have a good amount of games on Twisted Fate. And we're going to see the last ban being a Nautilus. Very expected. Nautilus is such a great engaged champ. And Kansas, in response to those support bans, will ban away the... I'm waving my fingers. Still waving my fingers. The Wukong! Getting rid of the Wukong is a very good idea. Getting rid of another form of engage from the side of OSU. It would do them a lot of good. Now, Ohio State does get first pick into the second ban phase, and they are going to pick up the Sejuani. The Sejuani is what Venusaur, the jungler for OSU, has been one-tricking the last 20 or odd games or so. So it is very expected that they would pick up the Sejuani, give themselves a front line of their own to kind of match the Mundo. And Kansas will probably be locking in their support here. They can lock in either or, it won't really matter too terribly much, but we will see them lock in the Morgana. Now, this Morgana is a little bit of a flex pick. It can go down into the support role in the bot lane, but it can also be played in mid, so expect either or in this situation. It looks like, though, it will be up in the mid lane for Hashiwa. That is at least what is going to be expected here. And Kansas, as its last pick, will be picking up the... Leona! Leona Ashe, another very good comp. Very good synergies in the bot side. You ultimate with the Ashe into the Leona stun, into the ultimate, into the hook. It is very good. And the Rise will be the answer to the Morgana in the bot side. And that is going to be game one draft. Overall, I really like both of these comps, honestly. These are both very good compositions for the side of Ohio State and Kansas, and I do have to wonder how these teams will actually play out. I do like the Sejuani. Whenever I play jungle, it is either Mbessa or Sejuani that I play, and I'm hoping to expect good things from this Sejuani. On the side of Kansas, I'm really expecting good out of this bot lane. Knowing that there is the Leona and the Ashe, you have so much engage. It seems like Cleanse is going to be a must-take for these summoner spells, at least for the Yunara, because they will have the Lulu to help buff them up, but It's not Milio. You're not going to have that cleanse. And with the three forms of crowd control in the bot lane, it seems very likely that cleanse is going to be a necessary summoner spell. Now, if you will give us just a couple of minutes for us to move into game, then we will be right back with you. See you guys in just a couple minutes. Goodbye. All right, we are back into the game. Right here with me, I got Brandon. Please say hi, Brandon.
Hello, hello, hello. Making my triumphant return to the Kansas Esports broadcast.
Yes, you are. And with us, we got a game in front of us. No, we don't.
We do have a game in front of us. We have the PEC semifinals
Yep.
for League of Legends. We playing this out right now. Of course, we're playing versus the Ohio State University.
Ohio State.
And last time we faced up against them, we did win. So, hoping that we can pick up a similar result here. I think that they did adjust kind of well to our draft strategy compared to the previous time. I think they're going Yunara and Rise into our Morgana type composition, I think is a bit of a good adaptation from them, but still feeling good because that's all we can do.
That's all you can do. And there's nothing better than that. Now I do, because we kind of. Oh, I was gonna say, do we have some lull moments?
We got just some trading in the early game. Nothing too crazy. I think honestly, a lot of these you'll see a lot of the early lanes in here for KU get pushed in or go down a little bit of a CS deficit early. That's kind of how you would expect some of these lanes to go. Obviously, in bot, we have a melee support versus a range support. Mid lane, Morgana doesn't tend to get pushed until she has a couple levels in her W.
Right.
And then Renekton very classically beats the best in the early game. But, once we start to reach around like 8 to 10 minutes, I think we'll start to see the tide shift a little bit.
Okay, yeah. And I do actually want to ask, as we see some action here in the mid lane.
Yeah, good little Dark Binding here. I mean, I think this is really bad for Rise to take that trade. He's down both of his potions, and like the next wave's coming in, so I think he has to stick around for one more wave as we get a bit of a Zenith Blade in. Yunara does have to blow the cleanse. Ash is going to sit here and auto. The auto does follow, and we get first blood on the Yunara. Really big overstep, or really crazy overstep there for Ohio State. I think Yunara feeling pretty good, getting a cheater recall off, picking up a longsword, but I think the confidence there from the longsword.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit too much confidence
exactly.
into that. It pushed him a little heavy. And even though you have the Lulu is only level 2.
Yes.
Even though Lulu Yunara is a very strong composition,
Ooh.
That was a very good back.
Yeah, that's really good to cancel that. So, the Yunara lane picking up that, the Ashe lane picking up that kill early is definitely like going to make that lane much easier. I think Yunara just an OP champion, like doesn't reflect in the solo queue data, but the champ is OP in competitive. So Ashe picking up that extra kill, getting now to sit on extra dagger and the boots.
Definitely
super good.
100%, getting that little bit of gold injected into her to help kind of even out this what this Yunara thought would be a advantage, but is now kind of sitting at a deficit. It's sitting at about 4 CS above, but doesn't have the boots, does not have the dagger to kind of amp up that attack speed.
And now kind of what we're looking at, we're out to Crescent to 4 minutes. Mundo's going to go on to his next clear. Mundo, one of the fastest going champs in the game, has received a couple of nerfs, so the clear is a little bit slower than it was maybe previously, but still going to clear through the jungle really fast. And then I would not be shocked if Kansas wants to open up on this first dragon. Mundo finish that clear, can get the upgraded smite if he waits to kill the last camp to get the bonus street. Then they can move directly into dragon. It'll kind of depend on what's going on bot lane, but that would be kind of my guess on how this is going to go, is KO will kind of hold this wave near their turret for a bit and then look to push it out once Mundo's on the bottom side to take dragon.
I do think you're right. Holding that lane in the bot side really helps clear up some potential for Crossku to make a play, and we are seeing a lot of trading in this top side.
Yeah, this is really good position for Mbessa. She's down a little bit of CS, but I mean it doesn't matter. Zenith Blade in here onto the Lulu. Lulu does have flash. We'll probably have to burn it here. Yep, does use the flash, but is slowed. Can we get the flash? We get the flash on the bone saw there for the Mundo. Picks up a kill. Yeah, that seems like a pretty easy dragon. Going to spawn up here right now, and with the numbers advantage down there, I don't think they can really contest.
Very clean Zenith Blade on the side of Archive there.
And I do think Jaybu probably sniffs that something's going on here. Does take over to level 6. Yep, able to get out. There you go. That's some good fundamentals right there. Your jungler's on the bottom side. Where can their jungler be? Right here.
And we are going to see Candace take that Infernal Drake, removing that as the potential soul for this game, which is kind of sad because I really do think an Infernal Drake would have done good.
I think we're kind of hoping for Hextech Soul, honestly.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you don't get Infernal Drake, you really hope for Infernal Soul. And the next Drake is going to be a Cloud Drake. So
Cloud Drake would have also been good on our side here. Morgana, Mundo.
Yeah, 100%. But we're still going to hope for that Hextech Soul on the side of Kansas. And I think, honestly, looking at the side for Ohio State, they would kind of want to be wanting, what's it called? Chem Drake.
Yeah, I can see that, for sure.
You have the Sejuani, you have the Renekton, you have the Lulu. Like, I really think that this would be a very niche angle to want a Chem Drake.
I mean, I think the Chem Soul is probably pretty good in a lot of situations. I think I will agree, especially here. Like, there's a lot of good places for it to go. And now the Xenoblade goes in. They're not looking to go for an all-in here. Sejuani is on the bottom side of the map, so you just get a little chunk on the Lulu. Maybe try to blow her heal. Doesn't end up working that time. I do kind of want to see KU take a reset here in bot lane before we start to fight a little more, because had not taken a reset in a while. Down a fair bit of effective gold in the map. Ooh, we are going to get the ultimate there from the Ambessa, but Renekton just out of the turret range.
Just had the stun, able to dash out. That was a very good idea to use the public execution there.
Yeah, and I don't think Jaybu's going to want to extend that trade anymore with the Renekton still having his ultimate. So back to just collecting minions on both sides. Basically now what we need to look for when we're trying to figure out what's going to happen is you want to see where is this Mundo. Mundo, he's taking his jungle. He's basically just going to cycle his camps until he shows up on the map with Heartsteel. When that happens, I would expect him to show up in some places, try to get some stuff to happen. We do see him running up. I see pings on this Raptor camp, so he is going to run up here and get an invade. Sejuani's on the bottom side, so this Raptors are going to be free. Kind of hope that we commit to this red buff steal as well. I think we have time for it, and we have mid push, but maybe the caution is the careful and cautionary play would be to not do it because Renekton can move. But we're gonna take it anyways. It's
yeah,
good.
you know what? It's still a free take. Like we have
free.
the push in the mid lane.
It's free.
And it's good. It's a good setup for this Void Grubs that we do see the rotation for.
Morgana kills the Void Grubs in an instant.
And Jaybu is going to be catching this huge wave for himself.
This is getting a little bit dicey because we do not have Ambessa on the move. So Mundo is going to have to burn the maximum dosage and just get out. We do secure one of the grubs, but we're not able to get all of them as a result of what's going on in top lane. Not the biggest deal in the world. I don't think either composition is really like hurting to take those Void Grubs. It's just a little bit of extra. So, not the biggest deal in the world to lose out on that.
And we do see that Mundo is starting to get closer to that Heartsteel, but...
Renekton going in here for all-in. Very good patience on the ult to not blow it there. I think they maybe want to look for a dive here on Jaybu. He does have Flash. In the public execution is coming up. It's back up now, so I think diving Ambessa here is really, really scary. Okay, Zenith Blade forward for Leona. And not going to amount to much. Again, I want to see if this top dive happens.
This does look like it. Ooh.
Sejuani ult goes wide. Public execution on Renekton. Gets the kill before he can even pop the ultimate. Very well played by Jaybu. The Ambessa, he's one of the Ambessas in the world.
It's Ambessa. You have 55 dashes in an unstoppable. What do you want to do about it?
Now here we go. As we're approaching 10 minutes, I do want to make sure we shout out Mystic KU, 51 month in a row Twitch subscriber. Thank you. If you want to get shouted out here, you should subscribe to us on Twitch. As we get the Solar Flare in, if it ends up amounting to nothing, but we do get the Transcend oneself out from the Yunara.
The Zenith Blade does go wide there, but we do see more trading going on in the top side here with the Sejuani coming to follow up.
I think Jaybu is going to end up dying here.
Yep.
Because the Sejuani Sun comes through, Renekton, yep. So that is a result of, not having the public execution and stepping up a little bit too far. And Sejuani says, I have nowhere else to be but right here. So we're just going to take that free kill, give Renekton a little bit of something. Oh, but he doesn't know he's about to walk straight into the Mundo, and the Infected Bonesaw does hit. Does not get the dice, and we get the flash forward, another Bonesaw, another auto, bam. Solo kill for the Mundo.
Very solid pickup for the Mundo here. getting an early procs onto the Heartsteel, which
Ooh, we got a run warp down here into the bot lane. I think the Binkster is going to need a flash out here. Does flash, gets stuck with the Rune Prison, but I think he's just going to be able to get out just fine. And I don't think we want to extend this at all, so Sejuani's on bot side. So the thing to look at here is Cloud Dragon is up, and we don't have Ashe flash anymore. So I think we may need to give this. Mundo doesn't have flash either, but we want to play for this. Sejuani gets tagged by the Dark Binding. We are pinstring them here. Leona is about to have her ult back. I think this is really, really scary for the side of Ohio State. Yunara's going to flash out. No ultimate. Ryze is going to get caught in the middle, is going to die. They're all getting here choked out. Morgana with the Soul Shackles is going to go in here, and all 4 of them are going to die. Double kill for the Morgana. And yeah, that's looking like a Cloud Dragon for King.
yeah, that looks like a free Cloud Drake for the side of Kansas, and wow, what an amazing way to really push forward that lead, just sitting at just over 3,000 gold
Yeah, I think
as a gold lead for the side of Kansas.
Ohio State thought they had more time to make that play since they chucked out Ashe, but they weren't able to get Ashel out nor kill her. So, they don't really have like an opportunity to make that play. Maybe they think Mundo's still on top side. I don't know. He's just going to run straight down. So able to get into there. Public Execution goes in. Leona is here. Xenoblade doesn't quite go. But, Mbessa is going to be able to chase this one down. Not quite able to pick up the kill, but,
Does force the flash out.
Yeah, you take that. You take that
summoner
every day of the
spell.
week. Take that every day of the week.
90-second cooldown for a 5-minute cooldown. I think that's a pretty solid trade if you ask me.
Exactly. So now, KU with what is that, like a little under 5K gold
Yeah,
lead.
little under.
Kind of want to see them really accelerate the pace of this game. Really push Ohio State out, make it so that they not have any form of recourse in this. As, Mundo's going to chase on the Lulu here. Maybe you have to bullet flash another Bonesaw. Yep, it does connect. Mundo can keep chasing here. Lulu's got basically nowhere to go, nothing to do. Is just going to die. Yunara no sums as well. We can dive this for sure. Mundo does not have his ult, but he's not dying. Heartsteel proc. Yunara lies under the turret, and that's a double kill.
Yeah, double kill for the side of Crossku. What an amazing early game. We're not even at 14 minutes
We're not even at 14 minutes. This is what happens when you leave Mundo open, by the way. Leave the Dr. Mundo open, Crossku will pick it and will run over you.
That is exactly what we said during draft. I asked, I was like, are we sure this is the direction we want to go? Not taking out the Mundo, which sits at a 60% win rate for solo queue versus Karasku.
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned at the start, I think the idea here is kind of sound because Yunara is actually matched up into Mundo fairly well because it's a little hard to catch her if she's even. As I think an Enchanted Crystal Arrow came down on the Lulu, there's nothing for this Lulu to do. Ashe is going to pick up another kill here. Archive is going to try to chase down the Yunara, not quite able to get it. Hashiwa is in a little bit of a precarious spot. I think we missed the Soul Shackles all in there a moment ago, but all that to just shove in the wave and maybe get a reset off.
Wow. What an amazing set of little play. That really catching that Lulu off guard in
able to get the bot turret.
Able to get the bot turret, able to shove it in before 14 minutes. Really is helping set up this.
Ooh, and Karasku is just running at Ryze here. He's going to use the maximum dosage to just try to chase him down. Ryze flashes on top of him, and Karasku is just going to auto him to death. I mean, that's just kind of what Mundo does.
I don't think I don't think the play is to flash into melee range. I'm
I think maybe that might have been a little bit of a misclick if I had to guess. But sometimes we take those.
You got to take what you can get, I guess. But I don't think OSU is going to be saying that same thing.
Okay, here. Got another dragon coming up in 2 minutes. This is going to be Soul Point. It is a Mountain Soul, which is good to deny from them because I think, we might be missing a little bit of that. I mean, I'm saying we're missing a little bit of durability. We have Mundo, but I think, a lot of their champions are going to stack health and would really appreciate the extra durability. So, denying that is obviously good. Obviously, you want the Dragon Soul. It's good when you get it. But I don't mind this one at all.
No matter what team picks is able to pick it up, it will benefit them. Like we do see that Ryze does have the Rod of Ages and is building into the Magic Resist boots along with the Archangel staff. But we also have seen rotations.
We got a run warp down here on Mbessa. Is she going to get out here? I think they already used the Sejuani ult. They commit the flash. I think if Mbessa dies here, it's not even bad. Try to get the public execution onto Lulu to one-shot her, but I mean, if they're going to move 5 people down here to hit this Mbessa, she is actually fighting for a long time. Sejuani ends up having to take the kill. I mean, we are getting a lot off of that. Yeah, we get to break the mid turret. they don't have any more abilities to follow up on Ashe and Leona. We're taking the Rift Herald, and we're going to take this top turret. That's a good trade.
That is 100% a good trade. I really think Ohio State's coordination of their macro is kind of struggling here. As
It felt like a little bit of a desperation play. Like we have to overload one side and try to get the Mbessa, like have a side to play on. Like they are now going to give some golden to Renekton. He's going to hit those plates down there, but I mean Mbessa's up in 2 seconds. Is going to TP back down there, so I don't really know that he doesn't even get to hit the plates at all.
Yeah,
so
no, he doesn't.
I mean, it's just a unfortunate play on the side of Ohio State at the end.
And while he is sitting at just over 40 CS as the difference between him and the Mbessa, it seems like he's still struggling to
We got a
maintain
TP in here behind the Morgana. I think Hashua may have overstayed his welcome. Is going to just try to run up here, maybe try to take something out on the Lulu. I think probably going to just end up dying here. Again, another 5-man play onto one person. Yunara does commit the cleanse. That is a little interesting. So the timing on that is a little unfortunate because Dragon is up, but I think, you know, Hashu was making the identification that I need to just try to do whatever damage I can so that my team can do Dragon, even though I'm going to die.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know, they trade the Morgana kill, but we are down there hitting Mountain Dragon. So, again, I think that's completely fine. I think there's a world that sequence plays out where Morgana doesn't have to die, but I mean, if the end result is the same, then you know it's no harm, no foul.
We like Kansas still ends up picking up the soul point, and that's very bad for Ohio State because now all Kansas needs is one more Mountain Drake, and if Mountain Drake, if soul is claimed at 22 minutes, while Kansas is sitting at a 6,000 gold lead at 17 minutes. You really need to just shove in your waves, farm plates, and you need to inject gold into your carries, but you don't have a defined carry right now. Yunara is like effectively out of the game, about 30 CS behind the Ashe, doesn't have any
down
kills.
A whole item.
Yeah, down a whole item. It's looking very bad for Ohio State to not have somewhere we can define that we have a damage dealer.
So I think the thing that they're looking for here is, you know, this next Dragon up in about 4 minutes. What you really want to do if you're Ohio State here would be try to show up somewhere 45 seconds, maybe before Dragon spawns. Try to kill somebody, see if they can force a numbers play, and then basically stake their whole life on that 4th Dragon. If they can buy themselves 5 more minutes through that, maybe they can play because, you know, Yunara and Rise do scale really well. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from KU. You know, we're committing really hard to this bot tier 2. Take the Herald, get the next charge. Gonna trade back a mid tier 1, but it doesn't matter at all.
I think a mid tier 1 for a bot side tier 2 and a few plates onto the base turret. It's definitely like they will get the
we have crazy pings on this right now.
Yeah.
It takes Ohio State forever to kill that. Leona and Morgana are collapsing on Yunara. We have an Ashe ult that goes wide. They do have to flash the Solar Flare, but I think, you know, Sejuani is just going to be the sacrificial lamb here. Does not have flash. Does have the Arctic Assault, but not going to be able to get out of range of anybody. They blow the wild growth on that too. That's, you know, 2 ultimates or an extra ultimate down.
Yeah.
They're probably going to die anyways. Now again, KU on a numbers play. Yunara has not gotten to reset from the extra gold that she just picked up, so we can hit this turret basically for free. Feeling pretty good about the state of this game here. I don't know that I have a whole lot else to say. It's just, you know, KU continue to play consistent, pick up this turret. Oh, and maybe we've now overstayed our welcome. Maybe we do have a Rizal, and I think it's just try to get out now. Mundo used the maximum dosage. They can maybe try to one-shot the Renekton. Again, Yunara has not been able to spend any of her gold, so now that KU's back to collapse, Morgana is going to miss everything. But Jbu goes in with the public execution, and they just kind of one-shot 2 people. And yeah, ooh, we get a flash forward on the Ashe W, and she does pick up another kill. We're diving the turret here. Ashe dies to the turret. The turret is going to claim another victim. Nope, not quite. Okay.
Wow. What a series of plays. That was an amazing turnaround from the side of Kansas. We were able to see what was 100% an overstay. And they were getting punished with the Realm Warp from the Rise. But it just ended up not mattering because Jbu was able to come in with the flank with the public execution.
Yes.
And effectively shut out 2 people from the game. Ashe was able to secure a double kill before eventually dying to the turret. And they were still able to pick up that turret with no minions under it.
Yes.
It was... Even though there was a misplay from the side of Kansas, they were able to clean it up and turn it into their favor very quickly while they are sitting at almost, what is that, a
9,000 gold lead.
yeah,
about, just about.
9,000 gold lead? Whew.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think the adjustment to getting collapse on there, make sure everybody else is rotating in is really, really good there. So now, again, 1 more minute till Dragon. This is the soul for KU. So basically, their motto right now is push the wave, run into river. Push the wave, run into river. They're going to try to grab this wave up pretty high, I would assume, and move back down into river, make sure that they can choke Ohio State out of all vision, make it impossible for them to play. Oshawa maybe about to face check the Renekton there. Did not.
Oshawa is standing very
Playing a dangerous
alone
game.
right now.
Playing a dangerous game here.
We do see Ohio State start to group up in the mid lane before the Drake spawns here in 30 seconds. And they are going to be pushing it into the river very slowly, inching forward, trying to claim just whatever space they can. But Kansas is starting to push forward into the mid lane, trying to deny them any of that space that they were trying to claim.
Now Mundo is here. They can walk back in, reclaim all this space. There's one more wave that'll show up right as a dragon spawns, but I think KU maybe want to start a fight here. Zenith Blade goes wide, Enchanted Crystal Arrow does hit onto the Rise. Get the Soul Flare on the Yunara. Mbessa goes in with the Public Execution, does a ton of damage, gets back out. Mundo still has not popped the maximum dosage, does go in with it. Morgana is going to fall in the middle of that fight, but I mean, they're just going to clean up everybody here. Mbessa probably going to pick up this kill here. Oh, Infected Bonesaw into the kill from the Mbessa. So we've got Ashe and Leona running straight at Baron. The Mundo's going to run and take that Dragon. I think we're going to be able to get Mountain Soul and Baron here. And I think this game is just about on wraps.
Yeah, I think we are getting very close to the end of this game here. Archive is getting a little...
Archive's getting a little low, but he's doing his job.
He's doing his job, just trying to get a little bit of damage off. But yeah, it does look like Kansas sitting at over a 10,000 gold lead, closing in on almost 11,000. And they're going to pick up this Baron. They're going to pick up the Mountain Soul.
They're going to try to... Oh, they could have waited maybe to let Hashiwa respawn, but decided not to, or forgot that they were... maybe forgot they could do that, but, you know, that's okay. Morgana doesn't need it.
No, Morgana's just going to be sticking with the rest of her team right now anyways, as they do start to be looking to try to push in that top side a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, I think Mundo's down here just going to pick up the red buff. Is going to hit onto most of his camps, most likely. I think he wants to hit level 16. Level 16 is a giant spike for Dr. Mundo. Yep, there he does tick over to 16. So he's just basically going to beeline it to top lane. They're going to play 1-4, just keep mid shoved out, and then play for this top tier 2, and then really try to break those 2 inhibs and then play further from there. I think, you know, OSU needed probably 10 more minutes in this game. Yunara's not quite on IE. So if they were able to get her to IE, then you can maybe just say, okay, peel Yunara, and maybe we can win. But not quite on the Infinity Edge, so it is very, very difficult. Ashe is on 4 items, so does a ton of damage.
Being down.
Okay, they are going to collapse here. They're using the Realm Warp to get in. They're trying to collapse on the 2 here for Kansas. You know, like I said, Karasuku is going to deal a lot of damage here. Just going to take out the Lulu on the back. He is 1v5. Probably going to have to blow the maximum dosage here in a moment if he even can. He does use it, gets a giant burst of health, is constantly regenerating, is going to flash out. He's going to reach into full HP. He has the passive back, and the rest of KU is here. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. Mikhails to break the stun, and then here is the onslaught from KU, and they just collapse and kill everybody. I mean, they spent all their time hitting this Mundo. This guy is full health.
Sorry, you can't... You can't spend 20 seconds hitting the Mundo, letting the entire team kind of recuperate themselves, then let the Mundo walk away, and all of a sudden he's back at full health. What are you doing?
Yep.
We are going to see Kansas breaking down the Nexus turret, eventually killing this Renekton, breaking down the Nexus.
Archive picks up a kill.
Yep, Archive picks up the kill, breaks down the Nexus, and takes game 1 out of the best of 3.
Yep, dominating.
Wow! Yeah,
dominant
what a game
1
from Kansas.
Very, very good. Very pleased with how that went. Very, very pleased.
I bet you are. Tell me, when you were, obviously you're, for those who may not be aware, Brandon is the coach for the varsity team that we did just watch.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? From a coach's perspective, what are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, this is just exactly what you want to see from us, honestly. I think, you know, when we play these types of compositions with Morgana. Morgana's like the centerpiece here is what I'll say. Like the Morgana's kind of our centerpiece. When the game goes how that just went, that's like perfect. You know, we're Drake stacking. That's kind of what you do in this game right now is you just do sequencing clears into the Drake. So, when we pick up that early kill in bot lane, it's basically like, okay, we can just do our exact plan and just clear down to bot, take dragon, clear forever, take dragon, clear forever, take dragon, and we're just kind of winning across the board. But I was very pleased with our team fight execution in this game, especially
Yes.
that on Drake 2 when we kind of had to pincer them and then we just kill all 4 of them. That was awesome.
I do agree. I think that was probably my favorite moment in the game, and definitely I think that was what defined the game win there.
Mhm.
That getting that second Drake and how they did it, securing the 4 kills there. What an amazing play from the side of Kansas. Now we are going to be right back as the team prepares for its second game. We are currently 1-0, hoping to make it a 2-0. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, we are back going into the Game 2 draft for Kansas and Ohio. And starting off, we are seeing the Wen bands and the Kassadin bands. Now, they did swap sides. OSU is going to be taking the blue side, and Kansas is going to be getting red side. So it does mean that they will get first pick. But I'm not really that worried about it, is the main problem. So Ohio State will be banning the Wei, followed in with the Ivern by Kansas, and banning the Cassiopeia. That is an interesting ban. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something that you will see every day. I do know that it is in a very good state right now. Cassiopeia has never been shy of being up there for its win rate in the solo queue. But it does look like they are wanting to get rid of it, and the first pick will be the Orianna that they did ban the first game. So it does look like they were trying to set up themselves to be able to play this Orianna into the second game. And Kansas will be following up with they will be following up the Orianna pick, giving a response with the Jarvan, taking away a huge synergy that works extremely well with the Orianna as you pair in with the Jarvan ultimate with the Shockwave. But I think Ohio State still may have it better, but Kansas will be falling in with the Ahri, really setting up this dive comp for the side of Kansas, which can't really complain about. With the Jarvan, you have the Ahri to hit the charm, with the Jarvan to follow up with the ult, and it's a done deal. And Ohio State will need a very good response into the jungle and probably will want to set up either they're going to want to pick their ADC so it doesn't get banned away if we've already banned away the Jinx. They're going to be picking the Amumu. I think the Amumu is not that bad here. You're going to have the Orianna. You're going to have the AoE ultimate that will stun everybody, and followed up with the Orianna Shockwave to secure kills and really try to push them forward. It's not a bad composition. And for their last pick, they will be picking up the Ezreal. So it does look like Kansas is going to want to ban away that Karma, but in the meantime, they will probably be picking up an ADC of their own, and they do have a couple of different options that they could do here, and they are going to pick the Misfortune to be that option. It does look like, which Misfortune is an amazing pick. Don't get me wrong. I really am going to be hoping that there is going to be a solid answer to this Ezreal, though, as he will scale very quickly if left alone. But I don't know if he will be with this Jarvan and Ahri. And now we are moving to the second ban waves, and I'm expecting a Karma ban from the side of Kansas. I don't think that's a combo you want to give to Ohio State. It is something that, yep, be very devastating. We are going to see the Karma banned away here, and Ohio State does have a couple of bans they can do themselves. I think a very good ban would be to take away Rel here in this situation. We do know the Archive loves to play Rel, and it's the synergy with Misfortune, as you can just crash in with the Magnet Storm and pull in with the Bullet Time. And Kansas will be banning the Braum after the Ornn was banned by Ohio State. And Ohio State's last ban for what could be their last game in the conference they're going to be Sion. So they are going to be leaving the Rel open. for the side of Kansas, they're very concerned about the top side of the map, so they are going to be taking away those bans, but you left the route open, and yes, Ezreal can blink out of the Magnus Storm, but what about everybody else? Rel is still going to be a very good response into whatever enchanter that they could want to have. Getting rid of the Braum was an amazing idea. And now Ohio State is going to kind of be left a little scrambling. I wonder if they weren't expecting the Orianna lock-in, or not the Orianna lock-in, the Karma ban. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong side of the screen. And it's going to be the Bard. I love Bard. If you have ever played with me, I have talked about Bard at least 5 times a game. I will always say I should have played Bard here because he is so fun. You have so much mobility, and you have such a good game disruption. You can, misfortunes being an issue, ultimate. You make her go into stasis. You can make a tower go into stasis when Rift Herald's going into it. You have so many different play opportunities. And Ohio State's last pick for their blue side is going to be none! Sorry, guys. This is going to be a 4-person game. So, I do wonder what it is going to be. We're going to have production check in on that. But Gnar is looking to be the pick for the side of Kansas. They are hovering it right now. And it will be locked in. And now, I do want to see. I like both these teams. I do want to see what their top side is though, before we can get any confirmation on which one I like more and what I think is. Zehen is going to be the lock-in for Ohio State. So not that bad. This is once again, I really like both of these comps. The Zehen in the top side into the Gnar. It's going to be a little iffy. This is going to be a situation where the Gnar is going to have the typical advantage over the Zehen because it's going to be a range versus melee matchup. But once that Zehen starts to scale a little bit, it can get pretty dangerous. And then, of course, in the bot side, we have Misfortune Rel. It is a iconic duo, and it is one that I do want to be on the lookout for once we get into this game. Ezreal Bard, another staple duo when you're not thinking about Karma, and then this mid and jungle for the side of Ohio State is also going to be very interesting as well with the Orianna and the Amumu. I love a good synergy with Orianna, and it can have a lot of impact into this game where, yes, it's a dive, or Kansas's team comp is a dive comp, but there's still a lot of potential going into it. And for the time being, though, I do believe that we are going to start waiting for the actual game to start, and we will be right back here in the next few minutes. Goodbye. All right, and we are getting into it. I do have Brandon back here
We're
in
back.
the stand with me. We're watching this game happen.
Yeah, here we are in game 2, up 1-0. Ooh, Ezreal's going to face check this bush. That is kind of crazy. Rel uses the crash down, doesn't quite hit onto anybody. The Cosmic Binding goes wide. Rel ends up taking a pretty big chunk on the end of this, but well, that was a bit of an interesting little
That was.
level 1 in bot lane. I don't know that I could have predicted that. Ezreal does build the potion, so it's very, very good for the set of KU.
Yes.
Misfortune being full health is super, super good. Rel will heal up to full.
It's
no
Rel.
problem.
It's Rel. You're never really too worried about it.
Ooh, that chunk there from the Bard. Ooh, and then
Ooh.
threading the Mystic Shot there. Okay, definitely that has definitely equalized it a bit. Now Miss War's gonna have to use that potion, but the start of that was looking so good.
Yeah, that was looking.
Ooh,
Ooh,
kind
does
of
hit
crazy
the-
Cosmic Binding.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hashua getting a little trade off here. Early lane is always so fun because everybody only has one button. They're just itching to press it.
They're itching to press it. Why? Like it's there. Why don't I press it?
Exactly.
But it does look like we're calming down a little bit. Bard does miss the Cosmic Binding again. And I was mentioning it off screen, but I'm really surprised that they let the Rel get through for Archive.
Yes, we are very surprised as well. I think they are banning Ornn and Sion, which I'm not gonna leak and say that we don't play those champions, but definitely not very high on our priority list. So it's a little bit interesting considering Rel is up on there.
It is
It's definitely Archive, one of Archive's better champions.
I
so
fact
it's a
checked
little
it.
weird.
It was his #1 played champ so far this season.
Yeah, I think maybe they're just saying that they're okay giving it over.
Mhm.
They end up playing Zehen, which again, like Zehen really likes to play into engage because he doesn't really have a lot of ways to go forward. So
Yeah.
if people are jumping onto him, he's very, very happy about that.
But he is taking a big chunk of health there.
Yeah,
from
not
the
getting
Gnar.
the pullback on the W there means that he's gonna take a lot of a large beating from the Gnar, who is just a crazy, crazy lane bully. That champion is so dumb in the lane. He does hit the and get the
Ooh.
cancel on the hop, but Gnar did not tank the tower
He
before
did not.
then because it canceled the hop before he jumped on his head.
Mhm.
So able to get out of there, no problem. Amumu is showing up
Yeah,
down
Amumu
here.
is
They're going to get
showing.
in with the magical journey. Amumu is maybe going to try to get onto the Misfortune. Does end up getting there. Binxer is going to use his cleanse to get out. But, I think if they just collapsed on Rel there, they could have just moved together and
Oh,
killed
yeah.
Rel. It's a little bit
I
like
think
overzealous to try to get the
yeah.
Misfortune there.
I think that was just bad target management. Like Rel is all alone. Didn't yeah, Jarvan showed up, but Jarvan was.
I mean,
still
Rel
a
is
little
fully
late.
sacrificing herself.
Yeah, like that was like, hey, I'm peeling, come kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up ignoring it and didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit odd. KU very glad to get out of that without giving over any kills. But yeah, I mean, at the end of it all, we are dead even. Jarvan's actually been able to pick up both of the Scuttle Crabs, which is very good. Able to transition the Gnar down into the river to help secure that. So early game definitely going pretty good for KU here. I
Also-
don't think we're gonna need to be the beneficiary of any
Yeah.
like crazy all-ins. I think we're already just like kind of chilling.
It is also going to set up Jarvan very well for that hit for level 6 if he does do the secondary full clear.
Yes.
And we hit the level 6. We'll get the upgraded smite in time for the Drake. It will be very impressive, especially because this Amumu will not be able to hit it now, at the very least, because wasn't able to secure at least one scuttle. He's going to be a little late to it.
Yeah. I think, like level 6 timer is going to be a little bit dicey. I think like both teams are really going to want to try to get involved. Ari definitely wants to make something happen on her first ult. Orianna, Mumu really want to make something happen on their first ult. So I think, we're looking at maybe around 6 minutes-ish is probably when we would likely see a first big skirmish, because I don't think we're going to get like a 5-minute Drake start. I don't think bot lane is in a position for either team really to make that happen.
No, 100% not. But we are seeing the Amumu kind of start rotating down a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, they want to make something happen here.
Yeah, is standing in position, probably waiting for Bard to rotate up. But is just gonna go
Just
to
gonna
the
go hit it. No, he's just gonna go hit his
or not? Yeah,
Krugs.
Krugs. Tired.
Oh, but it looks like actually we do have KU moving down on this dragon, and Mumu hitting his Krugs is gonna give an opportunity for Archive to go in here for a little bit of damage on the Bard there, so they get a chunk out, and I think maybe they've just gotten a condition to take Dragon potentially here in a bit after we secure this Gromp. That is going to give the Jarvan the upgraded Smite, so if there is like a contest on the Dragon,
He will have,
we'll
he
have
will
the
have
advantage there.
And we see
we're
Amumu
dropping
standing there.
Ooh, Ezreal going to get out with Arcane Shift, and Mumu's in. Rel does have the crash down.
Yeah, it does have the crash down.
Oh,
Is
they're
going to
gonna
turn
use
onto the
Vanish
Jarvan.
Sash onto the Jarvan. Rel's going to flash crash down onto Ezreal. Not going to get the follow-ups on. Ezreal's going to have to flash out, but I think, Ahri here on her first ult is going to jump in. They're going to kill Bard. Gets the reset. Get the charm onto the Amumu. Maybe they can keep hitting here. I think they're probably just trying to disengage. I think that's going to be the end of it down there. They do get that first kill off of the Ahri first ult, but, all of our health bars are pretty low, so I don't know that we're going to be able to turn this into Dragon right now.
No.
Definitely going to want to get a reset off, heal back up, and then try to reclaim the space later.
Yeah, at the very least, you were able to put the first blood money into the Ahri, giving her a slight advantage into this lane, is able to back and pick up the Lost Chapter and the Dark Seal along with the refillable potions, and is going to make probably quite an impact because this Orianna is still just sitting on boots and an amp tome. And we are seeing in the top lane, JBu's just doing a little bit more trading with this Zehen here.
Yeah, Zehen, trying to make that happen while the Nard doesn't have the Mega. And Orianna's going to get collapsed on here. The Charm goes wide. Orianna does still have Flash. We commit the Jarvan EQ. Orianna's going to flash out. Ahri's going to flash in. And I think Hashiwa is going to end up dying here. Just, not really a way out for him.
Yep, just giving us
as JBu also falls there in the 1v1 in top lane. And now Karasku's going to have to use the Flag and Drag to get over the wall here. That was a decent play on mid, but I think JBu not really expecting to die there. We didn't obviously see what happened.
Yeah.
But that giving over that kill does feel pretty bad, honestly.
But even
though from Archive, crash down in on the Ezreal is just going to be a chunk, not too much else. Bard is coming back down, so need to be a little bit careful, but there's no threat from the jungle right now.
I do kind of want to go back up to that topside talk though. Even though that JBu did die, he is still sitting at 20 CS over the Zehens, and Zehen decided to opt for the boots rush instead of...
That's why he won, actually.
Yeah.
He had the boots when he was fighting Gnar before. Those armor boots are so good into Gnar.
Yes, they is very good, and that is why he was able to win that fight, but now Gnar is still sitting on the... Oh, what's the hammer called? I can't remember.
The Phage.
Phage, yeah. Is saying,
ooh, Charm across onto Orianna. No flash. Jarvan's going to come in. The Cataclysm comes down. Ahri uses her ult as well, and I think it's just a matter of time. Yep, they pick up the kill there. Hashiwa sitting 3-1 on the Ahri. Definitely going to feel like the Ahri's going to try to take over this game, building the Blackfire Torch. Going to be more of that high uptime haste build, which I do really like from him. So, look to get the Ahri involved in more fights. Got the crash down here into the Magnetstorm, and we have the bullet time come out, and Bard has no way out, no flash. Just a real quick and easy kill there with the Elixir of Force. Ezreal is under some threat here as well. No flash. They could maybe try to look for a dive here. I think they might fish for it, but I think really it's just going to be hitting this plate and then collecting the wave. Nothing too crazy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Realm Misfortune combo right there.
Yep.
That's all it is for you guys. If you are a support player and you ever get locked with a Misfortune, just lock in Rel. All you have to do, 3 kills, 3 gold, and it's quite literally that simple. We are going to see the Jarvan pick up the Cloud Drake, and the next one is going to be an Ocean Drake.
A lot later first dragon this game, 4 minutes later than the previous game. So, we will get a bit of a later soul than we did last game, but I don't think, obviously, we're coming from the Kia perspective. I don't think we really mind that too much.
No.
Too much at all, because, now it's just kind of about, okay, let's get Ahri to her first item, and then just run around the map with Ahri right before dragons, and then pick up some kills.
Oh, yeah.
Force number plays.
100%. Like the trade-off of having the late soul and having a fed Ahri is definitely but we are going to see
Archive is going to get collapsed on here. Ezreal is going to Arcane Shift over the wall. I think he does that confidently because the Amumu's here. Bingster does get caught by the Tempered Fate, and I do think he's just going to die here, unfortunately. They give the kill over to the Ezreal.
Does get a lot of
pretty
ultimates
unfortunate.
out. Yeah, does get a lot of ultimates out, though, from Ohio State. And along with that, does get the cleanse out from the Ezreal as well. So you will have that ability to potentially lock him down with a Magnet Storm or a Charm if that does happen to be the case in the next couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. KU is going to look to take on these Void Grubs. I think those are kind of just gone. Amumu's just now completing his reset. I think they'll be able to take those no problem. So I think kind of, it's just kind of just chill out until the next Dragon spawns here in 3 more minutes.
Yeah,
not really much else to do.
This is going to I think going to be a chill couple of minutes. We aren't going to see a whole lot of fighting. Right now we're sitting at just about 1.5k gold lead for the side of Kansas.
We could make one. I think maybe in the next like 30-45 seconds, I would like to see Ari get onto a side lane and try to blow Ezreal Flash or go kill Zehen.
I think that is what we are seeing right now. We are seeing the Ari start to rotate down.
Yeah, that's also the power of Ari is she can clear the mid wave so fast. So it's just kind of clear mid wave, run down into river. As Gnar's going to get engaged on here, does get the hop, not to safety, but will end up getting out. The hyper procs give him so much move speed that he'll be able to get out of there, no problem.
Oh yeah, and I mean it was good timing for the Zehen to try to do something. Mega Gnar was down, and you say, okay, it doesn't have ult, but it does look like Archive is.
Archive's going to flash forward. The Q does not connect, and it's just going to be a disengage here. Oh, they get the Tempered Fate down. I think Archive isn't going to be able to get out here. The Arcane Barrage goes down. Magnet Storm goes in. I think we're about to see the bullet time here very soon. Ooh, Archive is going to chase through the portal. Carrasco is here, but is actually going to go in onto the Bard. Use the Cataclysm. It is flashed away from. This is a good position for KU. Mumu's going to have to flash out, and I think that's going to end up being it. Looks like Homemade Frag still wants to keep playing here. Carrasco's just trying to get out. Banish Toss goes wide, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. No kills go over. Really, really close to disaster, I think, for both teams. So I think both teams are kind of glad to have nothing bad happen there. Jaybu is kind of in danger here, but, Zehen's kind of out of juice, so he can trade back just a little bit. I think that early kill really kind of stopped Gnar's oppression for a lot of this game. So just get him to Trinity Forest, which he's on now.
Yeah,
and I think he'll be chilling, honestly.
We're going to see him TP back in the lane to meet the wave, and then we're just going to calm down a little bit here, it looks like. We're just going to see pushing in the wave. We have about 1:20 until the Ocean Soul and about 2 minutes till the Herald. And I think both teams are wanting to start at least setting up their vision around the Drake pit. We do see Blue Eye Dragon trying to clear out the control ward. Joshua is also trying to create vision of his own, getting met with Orianna. And yeah,
Zehen taking a big beating here. I kind of wonder if he's going to try to do something out of the turret there, but a little under a minute before Dragon, I think pretty much all of KU's ults are going to be back. I think ults will be back for both teams. The real thing is OSU are missing all of their flashes in their bot lane, and then also Mumu with no flash, which is a big deal. And KU, we're going to have everything except for Rel flash, which is also a big deal. But
you're going to have Hex flash.
Yeah, Jarvan having the flash, I think, is the most important thing. Jarvan and Ari still having flash, I think, means that we have a lot of range of plays we can make.
And with the Binkster having the cleanse on him as well, still holding it up for when that Amumu will want to make that play, because we have seen him hovering around this bot side a lot this game, and really trying to make sure this Misfortune can't get ahead. It looks like with how much fighting there's been on the bot side. But we are seeing that rotation from the Binkster and Archive into the mid lane to try to reach the Orianna.
Get the bot lane into mid to establish river control. Although Joshua is going to face check the Amumu here, is going to have to use the ult to get out. But he should live here. Oh, they do get the charm onto the Amumu. Is going to get another flash. The Banish Toss goes wide. Carrasco's here onto the Ezreal, trapping him in there. Joshua cleans up the Amumu on the other side, gets the reset on the dash. The charm goes wide, but it doesn't matter. Ezreal's going to fall. Another crash shot onto the Bard. And I think that is going to be a clean 3 for 0. Triple kill for Joshua down here in bot lane. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
how it goes.
That's kind of what we're setting up for, right?
Yeah.
Like we send our bot lane into mid, push out mid, and then you move down to river. And yes, they're making this play on Joshua, but the Ahri is so slippery, so hard to kill, that he can just buy so much time. And our team is already in river, already moving down. So we just get to collapse on that and pick up 3 kills in a dragon.
That is 100%. Why you can't just you leave one of them alone and all of a sudden they're not alone.
Exactly.
you think, oh, I've caught one of them out, and all of a sudden you'll have 3 people running you down and you'll be dead the next second. And I think that's what Kansas has been doing very well this entire series, is really trying to make sure, okay, I'm alone right now, but I have my jungler here with me in this bot side in case I want to do anything, or in the case that they want to do something. And Ohio State is going to be starting to try to look for this Herald, see if they have the angle on it, and they will be starting it up. They don't know that they're sitting on Vision right now.
Yeah, I don't know that they can actually commit to this. Ezreal is going to use the Arcane Shift to get out, and I think that, you know, getting that pressure down in mid lane is going to allow them to move up into River. You know, Hashua is here, Orianna's around, but I don't think Amumu can stay in the area. Hashua could go forward with the Spirit Rush, opts to just sit and hit the Herald, and we get to secure that. I think, you know, that mid turret might be not long for this world.
Oh, yeah, 100% not. And we do see that Hashua decided to pick up the Magi's.
I like that. I like it.
You really like it?
Yeah, you know what? He's popping off. Let's give him the rock. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Pass the rock to Hashua.
You know what? I guess you're right. And I mean, sitting on a 350 gold bounty. Ooh.
A big chunk on the misfortune queue there onto Ezreal.
And we're gonna see it still pushing forward as Kansas is like just staying steady with a 3,000 gold lead. And I wonder who the gold lead's on.
Yeah, you know, if I had to guess, I think the Ahri might have a lot of money this game.
I think you might be right on that. I'm not gonna lie. And we are gonna see just a bit more trading. The Orianna is gonna be trying to shove in this top wave here to try to allow her a little bit of freedom. And Amumu's just gonna be clearing the boss side camps, trying to see if they can match this Jarvan, still sitting about a level ahead. And
I really like this play from us. We got Jarvan into this top bush unseen. So basically, all that's going to happen is Orianna's going to walk up. Yep, just going to get hit by the Flag and Drag, hit by the Charm, and is just going to die. So that's a really, really clean pick. There's only one plate left on this, there's only one plate left on this turret. Able to pick up top turret, no problem. And all we got to do is just chill out in mid lane, and we're just fine. I think, you know, Jaybu should be able to trade back here a fair amount onto the Zehen. As Archive... Ooh. Does not get hit by the bandage toss, but I think he probably would have been fine regardless, but may have needed to use the summoners. Are going to summon the Rift Herald on top lane. Orianna's still dead. They're not responding to it. We're going to take 2 top turrets here. Ezreal and Bard are on the move. They do use a Tempered Fate to maybe delay something, but I mean, the turret is just gone.
Yeah,
it's just now it's about, can Hashua and Krasku get out? They commit the TP from the Zehen. I think Hashua and Krasku might be in danger here. Oh, Amumu follows, gets the Curse of the Sad Mummy down. Krasku's going to flash out. I think he's probably going to end up dying. Hashua is also going to die over here to the Zehen, give over a ginormous bounty. But Krasku actually does get out. Honestly, pretty well played by the Amumu there. I think it looked a little funky on the spectator client. I think the Q was just following, and then he kind of teleported. I'm not really sure what happened with that. But and there we go. The Magi's is now at 0. Hashua gave over a pretty big shutdown. Zehen is definitely something we're going to have to keep in mind and make sure that we target down and don't let him run over the whole game. But I still think, you know, that was a very, very goal positive or at least goal neutral play because, you know, we're picking up 2 outer turrets and the inner turret. So still got a bunch of money back even if we did give over that. I do
think, and this is more so a personal opinion from being a similar spot. I think selling the Magi's eventually would be what you want to play. If you can't get it up to above 10, it's not really. I mean, having Magi's will always be good for you, but we all know the curse.
I think if it's on 0, you could sell it to complete an item. But I would probably just hold on to it since you already spent the money on it anyways.
And we are just going to see a little bit more trading. We are going to see Kansas rotate down into the bot river, trying to set up vision for this Infernal Drake.
Yeah, this dragon looks pretty safely in KU's hands. Zehen does not have TP, and that's the guy that's strong on their team. So if he's in top lane, they really can't play for this. So it's just kind of up to Gnar to keep him there. Gnar can also join the team with the TP. And, you know, Hashua did just die. Magi's might be on 0, but he's on Lichbane. Like, that Ahri is still strong. Like, let's not get it twisted. The Ahri is still very big. I think maybe KU's going to want to try to make something happen before Zehen gets here. Gnar's just going to TP in
Archive is posturing forward to try to deny an entrance for the side of Ohio State, but Bard will have the magical journey ready for when they want to make a play.
Zehen goes over the pit here. Gnar, it does go Mega, so I think now is when they're trying to look for a play. Amumu does go in, gets the Curse of the Sad Mummy down. I think the Jarvan is just going to die. Get the Gnar into the wall. Amumu is dead. Zehen is going to pop his ult. Oh, and the Temper Fate catches him. Hashua, outside the Temper Fate, ends up falling. Bullet Time comes through. Archive's going to die. And now it's a triple kill for the Zehen. And the Ohio State do pick up the Dragon. And that is going to be a quadra kill for the Zehen. I think they're going to try to give him the Penta. Bad goes to worse in this fight for KU. Gnar is really trying to pick it up here. I think that they are going to need to play this really safely. Gnar has a good amount of health right now, and he does have his flash. That chunk from the Orianna is pretty good, though. Not quite able to get it. I think maybe would have needed just another second to stack the Gnar bar. But that is an ace for the side of Ohio State, and they pick up the Dragon. That Tempered Fate from Bard
that was a
really
very
won that
good.
Fight
That was a very good Tempered Fate, shutting down half the team, shutting down the Drake for just a few seconds, enough time for the Amumu to get in and really get in deep, allow the Zehen to really just chunk them all out. Very good play from the side of Ohio State. Coach, give me your perspective.
Basically, when that happens, you have to just try to reload. You can't let that stuff, you can't let that tilt you for the game. I think that's the most important thing is keeping a level head. And, you know, as bad as that went, we're still up 1K gold. Like, we are still good on our conditions. It's just, you know, we need to make sure we're picking up some anti-heal for the Zehen. We need to try to make a move on him in the side. I definitely think, you know, Hashua's lead has kind of dwindled a bit since, you know, all that lead, all that extra gold that he had is kind of that Majai's. Like, that is the gold advantage he has over the Orianna right now, and it's not really providing him a whole lot of value. So it does feel pretty bad, honestly.
I am going to be guessing that when Hashua gets a little closer,
we have a possible move down here. Amumu is clicking at our bot lane. Ahri is kind of in no man's land here. Is going to get the Spirit Rush over the wall, and that'll kind of be the end of it. Ahri ult cooldown is not super long, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but, you know, we're going to have another, like, minute and a half. We'll be able to make something. Hashua is going to try to make something happen here. Amumu goes in, Curse to the Sad Mummy. As Ezreal flashes over the wall, Hashua is going to fall here. They really want to focus on this. Amumu is not quite able to die here. Jaybu flashes forward. This could be big here from the Gnar if he's able to transform, but I think he's going to die before he's able to. And now KU just need to get out. I think Karasku wants to try to take down the Ezreal here. Does not have the Cataclysm, kind of just goes in and dies. And the Bingster is really going to have to just try to run away here, but I think he'll probably end up falling on the backside. And Archive may try to run down here and save him, but I think he's mostly just trying to save himself. I don't really think there's a way out. Yeah, for the Bingster, it does end up blowing the flash anyways. Yeah, two really, really bad fights in a row. Feels pretty bad, I think, for the side of KU. Definitely, like, need to find some way to deal with this Zehen before it's too late. Because I think we're not. It's not too late yet. As here we have a bit of an overstay from the Orianna. And the Ahri's going to run in here. I think she is probably just going to die. Probably going to save all of her sums.
Doesn't have any mana either.
They use the Spirit Rush to blow the flash. I mean, that's really good. They pick up the kill, get a shutdown, and end up blowing the flash from the Orianna. That is a big deal, honestly, because the Dragon's going to come up in a minute 50. Ahri should have ult again for that, and Orianna will not have flash.
You know, I was gonna say before that second fight started that Kansas really needs to be a little cautious of how they played that because Baron was up, but I mean, even after his fight, Ohio State ended up not going for the Baron, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but I guess it's because they were all rotated towards that bot side. But we are going to see Ohio State start to push in these towers a little bit more, kind of set them into a good position.
We are making a collapse play on the Zehen. He does not have flash. I think he can die here. Does get the ultimate over the wall. The Temper Fate hits nobody. Flash Magnet Storm. Now it's just trying to get out for Zehen. He has no stacks on his passive. Is going to get hit up by the Ahri. You can't see his health bar, but the rest of Ohio State has arrived. Archive is going to fall. Big bullet time here from the Bingster, picking up 2 kills on the Ezreal and the Bard. Orianna is here. She does have Shockwave. Karasku's here. They really want to take out this Zehen. Just healed for 700 on that Q, by the way. I think Zehen can still technically die here, but I don't know that they're able to really push into it. And they're just going to have to take that 2-for-1.
God, that heal was really what did him in. Really saved his butt there. but that does also deny Ohio State from taking the Baron, which that's a positive. You lose Archive, but you get their carry, you get their support, and we are going to see Kansas start to rotate down to that Drake, which is spawning in 15 seconds, and no vision has been set up except for the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, I think this has potential to be really scary. Zehen is going to have Flash and does have the Grim Deliverance. Mumu has ult, Orianna has ult. We crucially do not have Jarvan or Misfortune ult. So I think, we really want to try to do this, but I think if they get in, we are in danger of kind of losing another fight. I kind of wonder if maybe we need to end up giving this Dragon. I really want us to try to find a pick beforehand since we're playing the Ahri. Dragon's going to reset here. This is kind of a very tense situation down here. Gnar does transform. I think, during this Gnar transformation is when we are going to want to try to make something happen. If Gnar ends up going mini, we need to leave. So, I think it kind of looks like we're going to make the call to leave here soon. Gnar is wrapping around. Maybe wants to try to do something. Does transform back into mini. See danger pings, and I think neither team really wants to step up here.
No,
Gnar is just taking mid turret or taking mid prio. Zehen is trying to hit the wave as well. This is super, super tense. Ezreal weaving a couple of these Mystic shots in. Hashua is chunked out.
Roscoe is also starting to get chunked out by this Ezreal still, sitting at about 60% health. Does have to...
Gnar's not tired anymore. This next wave that's coming in, Gnar can transform again and come in. I think Ohio State recognized that, and they are starting to push in more aggressively. Gnar can come in. He does not have Flash, but he is going to transform again. I think now you corral them in the pit. Gnar needs to get in if they want to make something happen. I think that's the only way.
If they want to get in, he has to get in now.
I think they're heading in. Temper Fit hits nobody. Gnar does not get his E over the wall. The Crunch does not get over the wall. He's going to shoot the Boulder Toss. No one has died yet for either team. Amumu is able to get the ult off. There's no Orianna. Zehen picks up a kill. Gnar is not able to do anything on this side, and Ahri falls as well.
Wow, what I really think messed him up there was that the Gnar was not able to get the...
Pinkster picks up a kill on the other side. Archive gets out. I think Jaybu's going to die here. Yeah, Gnar not being able to get over the wall there feels really, really bad. They're not going to chase the Gnar. They're actually going to start up the Baron. I think this is a good plan from them. But Gnar is still in the area, can transform on the blue buff and make their life really hard. Misfortune does have the bullet time. Zehen is out of the pit. I think Ohio State are kind of in danger here. We get the Gnar into the wall. Big damage onto the Orianna, but I think the Gnar is just going to die. Orianna is dead. Picked up by the Binkster. Binkster now kind of in no man's land again by himself up here. He's going to try to play. Gets the Q onto the Ezreal. I think... Okay, Hashua is TPing in. Archive is here. I think this is really, really good from KU. The Spirit contest has gone so good for them so far. Get the Charm onto the Zehen, but he does buffer it with the Grim Deliverance, and they pick up the Misfortune kill. And we're not able to pick up anybody else. Of course, Ahri does have the Spirit Rush, so we can maybe look to play on this Zehen, which it looks like we're going to. Ohio State don't have really anything they can do. The Tempered Fate only hits onto the Rel. The Charm goes wide. I think this looks pretty bad. I don't know they're really able to do this. Zehen is going to pick up the passive here, and he's going to get the revive. So I think KU need to just try to get out. Summoner Heal comes out. They end up proccing the revive on the Zehen, but he's level 18. He's going to heal basically to full. I think we need to just cut our losses and get out and just say that we're happy that we got them off Baron. Pray they don't do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you can pray, but I mean, we will see the Ezreal start the reset, and Bard is going to start picking up the chimes, clearing out the wards around the Baron pit, try to give the illusion that something could potentially be happening here soon. We are going to see a kind of response from the Gnar trying to set up, can we see if they're on anything? We're going to have Karosky start clearing his top side. Wow!
Yeah.
That was a long sequence of fighting. I feel sorry for your vocal cords after that.
Yeah, no, we're okay over here. I think, and again, like the gold is not that far off, so I think maybe the players are feeling like maybe this game is really hard and they can't really play, but we do still have tools to play. We are still strong. It's just about making sure that we are doing the right things. I think we're actually going to be able to get a good pick here on the Orianna. It does blow the flash. We end up using Magnet Storm, and that's the only thing. Vayneshots goes wide. They do use the ultimate. The Tempered Fate actually only hits onto the Amumu, so Hashu was going to get out here. Only had to use the Spirit Rush. So now that's kind of a one-for-one ult trade. Meanwhile, we got the Orianna Flash on the other side. Oriana's down here, maybe going to try to last hit this red buff away from Carrasco. Is he going to be able to get it? Who knows?
Oh, we don't know. We won't know.
We won't know until we see. Okay, I think that they're making a multi-man play here on the Ahri with no Spirit Rush. Amumu gets the Bandit Shots, but no Curse of the Sad Mummy means that there's no additional follow-up. I think they are going to TP the Gnar up. I think Amumu's going to get caught with the Charm. Amumu should fall here. He does have Flash, but he has no way out. The Binkster is hitting here onto the Bard. He knows he didn't take the portal. He's just going to run straight at him. Okay, good that he does not chase into that further, because I think he would just eat a Mystic Shot to the face. But numbers advantage on the map. Let's see what they can do. I think starting Baron here is a little bit scary.
Oriana going to start it.
Oriana can TP. I think maybe we want to just get the Oriana TP and get off. Zehen and Oriana are going to TP back, and that could be really, really dangerous.
But Carrasco does have the Guardian Angel.
Oh, so they're actually going to use their TPs to go and move on to the Misfortune, push her away.
Maybe.
And now here we have a bit of a 4v4 on the Baron. This is getting really, really crazy. Archive goes in. Magnet Storm is probably just going to end up falling here. Gets the flash, stun onto the Zehen, charmed into the team. Bullet time comes through. Zehen with the Grim Deliverance. In the charm is the GA. The Zehen picks up the Baron. And Jabu's going to fall on the other side. Carrasco's going to have to flash out of the pit. And Bard does not get hit with the charm. Yeah, I think that Baron plays really hard. I think we kind of feel like you have to go for it, but with the Binkster not hitting the Baron is that don't quite have the damage to do it before everybody else can get there.
And that was a horrible timing for Carrasco to go into the Guardian Angel. That was very unfortunate that that Kansas was not able to receive it. Now Ohio State is going to be starting a push with the Baron, sitting relatively comfy at about a 3,000 gold lead over the side of Kansas. And wow, their main problem here that they're going to have to deal with is this Zehen. This Zehen is almost full build.
I mean, Ezreal's also on 4 items. Like they are all strong. They've got 3 Infernal Dragons. If they pick up the Infernal Soul, that is pretty much going to be it. Ezreal with Infernal Soul is literally insane. And like that's the Ahri full combo onto the Zehen there. It basically doesn't deal any damage.
Yeah.
So I think KU definitely needs a lot to go right in order to win this game. Definitely going to need some miracles. I think, we can start with the shutdown on the Zehen, but we have not been able to make that happen at all.
Not at all.
Carrasco's going in here. Cataclysm onto the Ezreal is going to blow the flash. That's really good. Can we get a re-engage here? The Bandit Shots goes wide. Might be able to pick up the Amumu here. He doesn't really have a way out. Is going to get the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Oh, but the Tempered Fate really saves him. The Gnar to shove him back. The Shockwave comes out. Nothing's really happened. But the Amumu does fall while Zehen is on the bot side taking the bot tier 2. And again, we have a numbers play. I think we need to try to collapse on the Zehen here. He is very, very far up. No Spirit Rush from Hashua. Might look for a charm. Does not land. I think this is kind of the opportunity here. Might need to try to find something to happen. Carrasco is going to die. Grim Deliverance forward. Hashua is going to die as well. I think that Ohio State might be able to just break a couple inhibs here. They might try to end the game. I don't know that they necessarily can. Misfortune doesn't have ult or really a way to clear the wave.
There is a chance for it. You do have Carrasco dead. You do have Hashua dead. But we do see...
Flash forward from the Gnar to try to get a pull back. And Ezreal with a good Arcane Shift out is not able to really pick up anything. And a third member dying definitely means I think they're going to probably push to end the game here. I think we're going to need some miracle work from Archive in order to stop them from ending here.
Yeah, I think we do see... Oh. I think Archive messed up the Hex Splash there.
No, I didn't want to go in there. Get the Magnet Storm in. Binks are not really able to do much. Shockwave's still up. Temper Fate does go wide, but I think that is going to be the game, and Ohio State are going to even up the series.
Ohio State is going to even up the series, going 1-1 for this second game. Whew, what a comeback from the side of Ohio State.
It definitely feels that way.
I know that Kansas was sitting relatively well during the early game, sitting at around a 1,000 gold lead at about...
Yeah, I think we were well positioned in most of that early game. I think, there's that Drake fight that, Zehen picks up a quadra kill, and that's really bad. Definitely want to take that one back.
Yeah, but now, Coach, give me your thoughts. We've heard you talking a lot for this play-by-play. Now, what's your breakdown for this? For what are you going to be talking to these? What are you going to be talking to the team about once you get back in here?
Well, that's privileged information. My strategies there, that's privileged, that's confidential. I will need to head back up there and consult the team and make sure that everybody's doing all right going into game 3. Now that we're in game 3,
Hmm.
it's basically a best of 1, so it only comes down to the last game. It's the only thing that matters.
I
So,
mean, it's a
that's the
best of
thing. That's
one.
my advice is, you go into a game 3 after a rough game 2 is like, it doesn't matter. It didn't happen. Only thing that matters is the next game.
I mean, it's a best of one, but you're taking 10 champs out the champion
Exactly.
pool.
That's all that matters.
But we are going to be wrapping this up for this game. Just give us a few more minutes. We'll be coming back with game 3 for Ohio State versus the University of Kansas. Wow. I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are here over at the caster desk. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Goodbye. All right, and we're going right back into the draft here, and starting off, our screen is just a little bit cut off here. Give us half a second here, but we do see that Kansas is back on the blue side and is banning off the Gwen. I can't tell what that next ban is, but I do see that there's a Cassidy ban on the side of Ohio State, which makes complete sense after Hoshua's dominating early game, even though they weren't able to close out the win, and that's why we're on this game 3. And we do see the Ivan banned away from the side of Kansas, and Huey is also going to be banned on the side of Ohio State, which makes sense. These are just standard bans, and they really don't want to give anything away here. And we see Ohio State, or not Ohio State, Malphite is going to be the last ban for the side of Kansas, and I stand corrected. Okay, so I was wrong. It's just a little bit of the screen moving over to the side. And Huey, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Ohio State's last ban is going to be this. What is it gonna be? Mel. Always. That's always good ban. You know, going into game 3, Mel can be very scary, especially with some of the picks that have been locked in the past. We're going to see Syndra on the side of Kansas for the first pick here, which, honestly, I'm not that surprised about. Syndra is still a very good champion. Even though it's not particularly meta dominant, still always good and can swing a game. Oh, we're back. The screen's fixed, too. Wow. And we're going to see Ohio State lock in the Jinx. Now, the Jinx has been denied the last couple of games, so we are going to see it locked in here. I wonder if we're going to see a support locked in, too. We can see something like the Milio, or maybe we can see the Yuumi, but instead we're going to see Ohio State lock in the Xin Zhao. Staple pick in this meta, especially in the competitive scene. I don't think there's a single series across the world where Xin Zhao isn't either picked or banned. And I want to see what Kansas's response is going to be for the Xin Zhao. With Jarvan taken away, along with the Mundo and the Sejuani and the Amumu, it could be the Wukong that we see here that is definitely played by Kansas. And instead, we're going to see a Volibear. That's interesting. Now, we could say that this Volibear could go topside, and this could be a blind. It could be a flex pick, but I am willing to bet that this is going to be a Volibear in the jungle in response to the Xin Zhao, which I am 100% interested in seeing how it goes. Of course, the Volibear would be able to run at the Xin Zhao and does, I believe, have better healing sustain than the Xin Zhao as well. Compared with the Nami, taking away a very good synergy pick with Jinx and putting it on your team, you're definitely looking for some aggressive plays here on the side of Kansas. And I wonder if we're going to see something like a Lucian locked in for the side of Kansas, as well as we see what Ohio State's last pick is going to be, which I really do wonder could be. I do believe it's going to be a support. And no, it's going to be a Twisted Fate as the lock for the mid lane. Now, Twisted Fate in the past hasn't seen a lot of play, but here in the last couple of patches, he has gone up in a pick rate in the competitive scene. Maybe not so much in solo queue. I would have to look back at the stats for it to confirm it, but he has been locked in a lot more. And we are going to see the Corki banned away on the side of Ohio State, as Corki Nami is definitely something you don't want to give over to a team. It's kind of like a Karma Ezreal or Ashe Seraphine. It's not something that you want to look forward to. And we're going to see Milio banned on the side of Kansas. Very good takeaway. Really just trying to deny this Jinx as much as you can, which that is the right play. When Jinx is as scaling as she is, and she can really just go off the walls with just 1 or 2 kills. You don't want to give her even more ramp and even more sustain to keep that ramp going. You just want to take it all away. And Ohio State's last ban for this game 3, for this best of 3, is going to be the Ornn. Now they did ban the Ornn away last game and ended up blocking the Zen, which turned out to be an amazing pick and really helped them dominate the entire game after securing the initial kill onto the Gnar. And Kansas's response to his last ban, is it going to be another support? Do they want to take away another support, or do they want to focus on this top side? And we are going to see what it is. It's going to be the Sona. Another amazing takeaway from Ohio State. Like, you just don't want to give them any wiggle room. And Ohio State probably is going to want to lock in their support here, or they can have a little bit of breathing room if they want to lock in the top lane. And what we are going to see is going to be, into the Nami. You're gonna want to lock in the Thresh. Okay, that is a good. But what is Kansas gonna want to respond with? I think Lucian could be very good into this team, but I guess we're gonna have to see what Brandon thinks of it as well. With the Volibear and the Syndra as well, it could be potentially. Trying to think of what it could be. Potentially a Kate or Yasuo. We're gonna be going with the Yasuo in the bot lane. That's very interesting. Unless could be topside, but I don't think so. I think we are going to be seeing the Yasuo in the bot lane for the Binkster, and that could be something. Into the Jinx Thresh. I don't have a lot of experience with Yasuo in the bot lane, so I'm gonna have to see. And of course, we're gonna see a K'Sante. It is not a KU game without a K'Sante, I believe. That is in my fullest opinion. It's never a true University of Kansas game without seeing K'Sante either banned away all 3 games or picked at the opportunity that he can. K'Sante could be the biggest difference maker, though, in this comp, which is a little frontline heavy. They don't, like, their only backline for this game is going to be that Syndra. And in response to the K'Sante is going to be the Aatrox. I'm very intrigued with this. I do believe that in terms of frontline, Kansas is going to be very dominant in this game. And yeah, I think for this one, I want to wait until Brandon comes back so we can talk about it a little more. But I think with the Nami Yasuo, it could be very disruptive in the bot lane, but it could also be a little punishing. Yes, Yasuo can trade very well with his passive and the wind wall once he gets it unlocked and puts a few levels on it, which shouldn't happen for a little bit. But I don't know exactly how the Binkster would want to play it in this scenario. I'm assuming by the fact that he's locking it in, he has some experience with it and is confident. And yeah, we're just going to have to see. Never mind. It is Syndra ADC, guys. I've gotten word from production. It is Syndra ADC. We're in for a game, aren't we? Oh, I can't wait to hear about this. Well, guys, we are going to be going in to Game 3 in just a couple of minutes. I can't wait to talk to Brandon about this, and I bet you guys can't wait to hear about this. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, and we're back into it for Game 3 of Ohio State versus the University of Kansas. In this best-of-3 match, I got the lovely varsity coach, Brandon, here with me again.
We're back again.
So this is going to be a game, I feel like. The production, me and production were caught off a little bit by the Syndra in the bot lane, and I'm gonna remain hopeful for it to do well. I mean, we are gonna see the Jinx and Thresh are wanting to step up a little early, try to play a little aggressive here.
Yeah, I think this is a good position from them. You know, we're just sitting in the tri-bush, really trying not to let too much happen early. I think the first couple levels are going to be really difficult down here, but I guess the first level's going to be really difficult. If we get to level 2 on parity in health, I think we should be really fine, because if they're able to get, you know, like a Syndra stun, chain that into the Nami bubble, and they'll make the lane.
Okay.
Get a big chunk there and can maybe kill somebody. But yeah, with the bot lane Syndra, it's all about getting to level 6, and getting that unleashed power.
Okay, cool.
Deal a bunch of damage.
And we're gonna see JB hit level 2 first. Not really gonna be able to do much with it, as the Aatrox does hit it just a moment later, and we're just gonna hop around a little bit. Oh, pardon me. See just a little bit of trading. Yasuo dealing a nice little amount of damage to the TF there, and yeah, so my biggest surprise here was actually pretty early with the Volibear pick.
Ooh, that's an instant onto Nami, not able to do too much there. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was a little surprised by the early Volibear pick. I do know that Volibear is a relatively stable pick into in these kind of situations where they're going to be having a Xin Zhao who can go in very easily, and Volibear will be able to get a stun on, kind of shut down any kind of follow-up that the Xin Zhao may have. But paired with the Aatrox, I'm gonna be hopeful about the Volibear. I mean, at least personally, I've never had a good experience as a Volibear going into an Aatrox, at least in the jungle. But
yeah, with the Volibear, the thought here is like it's really like it can duel the Xin Zhao really easily, and he's here on a gank. Is going to use the Thundering Smash to try to go on the Jinx, but is going to hit the Thresh instead. Xin Zhao is here, but he is only level 3. If we take this 3v3 here, the KU does have a pretty big XP lead. Xin Zhao is going to flash forward, try to hit onto the Nami, is going to flash out. Volibear is going to pick up a kill. Archive is ignited here, may end up falling. Jinx is going to get the reset, and the Sky Splitter going to come down. Ooh, but TF is here, does get the gold card, but Volibear picks up a kill. Jinx might pick up another reset here. Syndra really wants to pick up this kill. I think the Binkster might be able to play this out. Does have the Scout of the Week come back up. Just another auto attack onto the Jinx. One more. Oh, another gold card comes out. The Binkster doesn't have Flash, but does have the W. It does fall away and not able to pick up those last 2 kills.
That was such a good Scatter of the Week from the side of the Binkster.
But that play, even though it is 2 for 2 kills, Jinx doesn't get either kill, crucially, and Volibear picks up both of them.
Yes, Volibear picking up both the kills here is going to be very good, and we do see that he does buy the early Dark Seal, and Kansas is sitting at a solid.
And yeah, here we go. Volibear is going to be able to hit on the Xin Zhao. He has no flash on either champion here. Oh, and the giant chomp there. I think Volibear is just going to be able to pick up this kill. Yep, does pick up the kill on the Xin Zhao. Is that only worth 178 gold? That is crazy.
I guess just because of how early the Xin Zhao died the first time, like he's gonna have to take
one death. That negative bounty is insane.
Yeah.
And Jebu is gonna have to flash out here. Not expecting the Aatrox to still have been around. Volibear 3-1, really good. So another thing that happened in that whole play is that TF roamed down, and you know that was able to pick up a kill and help them secure more kills on that play. But Hashua got to stick around in the mid lane and pick up a tower plate, so that Yasuo, when he takes his reset, is going to have a fair bit of money for himself. I wouldn't be shocked if they weren't even, like, he wasn't even down money, and does get the last breath in and blows the flash off the TF. That is really, really good for Yasuo before he's even taking his first base.
Very, very good, and especially just chunking out this TF.
Archive on the sidestep on the death sentence and zap. They're actually going to take some damage on the back end of this, but I don't think anybody's going to fall. That sentence will come up here in another couple of seconds, but just kind of back to neutral wave state.
It's been a very aggressive first couple of moments. I haven't been able to talk about half the things I want to. I want to talk about that little
Ooh, Scout of the Week onto Jinx, and she does have no flash. Volibear's here. Their whole bot lane is super dead here. The Sky Splitter comes down, and Jinx falls. The rest is going to follow here. Going to follow, and Volibear is on 5 kills in 5 minutes.
Guys! Like, we're 6 minutes in. The Volibear has 6 stacks. What are we doing?
He does have the Darksteel. That's true.
Yeah, like 6 stacks of the Darksteel. 6 minutes. We're at 7 kills. It's over 1 kill a minute. Getting heavily punished.
Very good for the Volibear. Yeah, very good for Volibear.
Karasku is everywhere.
And they're taking the first dragon right now. Going to secure that one. Yasuo still has not taken a reset, is now finally going to reset. Ooh, Jaybu going to get the Pathmaker forward there, but does cancel the auto attack.
I'm never used to seeing the
Vamp Scepter and Recurve Bow.
I see that.
Pretty good.
I'm never used to seeing a K'Sante go Aftershock. I've seen it a couple of times, but I'm so used to seeing the grasp into this matchup with the Aatrox, where it's so much about the sustain. That seeing the Aftershock, he's really wanting to play aggressive, really try to punish the Aatrox, trying to move forward here, which I think is very nice.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that there's really like the most opportunities for K'Sante to really proc the grasp in this lane, because the Aatrox can play at range.
That is true.
Pretty far. So I like the Aftershock because, you know, when he gets in, he'll when they're actually having a bit of a skirmish, then the K'Sante is much more durable. Oh, and the Big Star walks up here, does just eat the death sentence, but, you know, they are level 6. I think they want to try to get the Unleashed Power. The bubble comes down. Unleashed Power not quite going to kill the Jinx there. They do get the extra Dark Sphere. TF uses the Destiny to come down, but, you know, Hashua TP's down as well. It is a 1-for-1 so far, with Thresh picking up the kill. Aqua Prison does go a little bit wide. But, you know, I think that's honestly fine for KU. Syndra does pick up the kill. They get to put the Jinx even further behind. She'll miss more minions.
So
that's just super good.
Yeah, this Jinx hasn't been able to get any kills. The Thresh is 2-2 right now.
And yeah, they can deny this whole wave from the Jinx. I think that wave actually might not hit the turret. I don't know, but she did miss a fair bit of it, so definitely going to feel pretty bad.
The Thresh did move back, so the minions did move into the tower. So it did at least miss a few minions, and it may not be a lot. Jinx is still sitting at a few above, but big difference.
But we get the knockback, the Pathmaker, and into the all-out is going to take a tower shot. Pathmaker forward, just going to blow the Aatrox flash, and, you know, that's pretty good. K'Sante doesn't need to do too much else. They're going to secure those Void Grubs, but, you know, that's in exchange for the entire bot side the Volibear is going to eat here, honestly. So
the Volibear's already eating his Black Cleaver. He's had it since like 7.5 minutes.
Scout of the Week forward. Syndra. So now here, this is what we were talking about, the level 6 for the Syndra. You know, she doesn't have the Unleashed Power available right now, but kind of whenever she wants, she can just decide that Jinx will die. And
just hit.
Volibear is here, does have the Stormbringer. I mean, the Thresh is just going to die, uses the flash. Volibear is just going to run in, is going to get stopped by the Flame Chompers, but opts to not go further. You know, maybe could have looked for to blow the flash with the Stormbringer, but I think maybe decides, you know, we can just do another dive with the Stormbringer later.
Yeah, like I think holding on to the Stormbringer is the correct play. When you're 6-1,
Jinx getting denied more CS here, by the way.
Oh yeah, Jinx is getting denied more CS. Scatter of the Week does go a little wide.
Oh, there's a TP from behind. TF is coming down very slowly. It's not Unleashed Teleport, so he's not here very fast at all. And I think not going to do anything. Uses the Ghost from the Unsealed Spellbook, but that's about it. They blew Nami Flash and Nami ult. But, I mean, if that TP was unleashed and they could get there faster, then maybe it works. But now KU can just make this play happen. The melee range Death Sentence misses. This Thresh is super dead. Xin Zhao's here. Maybe they want to try to make something happen, but they just say, nope. Another kill goes over to the Bingster.
Man, talk about a change in pace from the last game.
Ooh, and I think the Jinx is super dead here. Does end up living. The Dark Sphere does go over, or does miss, but the Stormbringer comes out. The Xin Zhao is most certainly going to die. Archive does pick up the kill because, you know, with the Xin Zhao ult, he can't take damage from outside of it, but super hectic early game, like you're saying. I mean, 10 kills or 10 stacks on the Darksteel for the Volibear. I think this is what KU wants, you know, with the Syndra and the Yasuo, with the Volibear. Like, it's all about making skirmishes happen. Jaybu is going to get caught up there with the Destiny. If the K'Sante dies, it kind of doesn't matter, but he's out. He had to flash, but
I think
that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think burning flash to deny any gold being given over to the Aatrox or the TF is definitely a good thing. The TF is sitting a little down, but like you don't want him to get ahead.
Okay,
of
the
y'all.
Thresh wants to hold this wave for the Jinx, but I think it's going to cause him to die here. Maybe no, I think he'll be able to get out, but you know they do end up crashing the wave. So here's something I want to call out. OSU, the past couple of minutes, what they've been really doing is like blowing a ton of summoners on the like the TF down, blows a Nami flash, uses the Destiny topside, blows a K'Sante flash. Syndra has no flash as well. Jinx is just slowly dying here. This Jinx needs a lot of help, but really what they need to do is repeat on the next TF ult. We need to get a play to happen. Oh, and the Bingster goes a little bit crazy down here, and Jinx is going to pick up a kill onto him. Thankfully not going to pick up a second kill, but I don't quite know what that was.
I think the intent was like either the Bingster wasn't really paying attention to his ultimate cooldown. It wasn't exactly up yet because he hit the Scour of the Week and then kind of paused for a second, like kind of not realizing what was there. The Kendrake Soul is going to be taken, and
The Mountain Soul.
yeah, it'll be a Mountain Soul this game. So.
Hubris for the Aatrox. That's crazy.
My general word of advice, at least I tell a lot of people, is you don't have like 2 kills by the time you're building the Hubris. It's probably, or you don't have like a defined lead. It's probably not a good idea to be building a Hubris, and you probably want to go something a little bit more standard.
This sentence goes wide. Thresh is going to take a big chunk here. Don't think anything crazy is going to happen. Jinx did just get a little bit of gold getting the kill on the Bingster. So, you know, kind of the whole MO of this game is kill Jinx. So even more so now.
Yeah.
Volibear does have his ult back up, so they can threaten a dive down here.
But it does look like that the Jinx and Thresh are going to respect the Volibear being down there and look to give the bottom turret. So
yeah, they have to just completely respect them and give this entire turret. That is really, really good.
First turret of the game will be going over to Kansas at 13 minutes. And guys, we're at 13 minutes and Kansas is sitting at about a 5,000 gold lead.
I think Jaybu could be in some danger here. They do get the TP out from the Yasuo. They are going to look to fight this for sure. Yasuo goes in. Xin Zhao has no flash, is just going to end up dying. Hashua picks up a kill. Really good TP up there to help save the K'Sante.
And in the bot side, there's something happening.
There's something happening everywhere. Thresh has to flash away. Jaybu is just fighting up here with the Aatrox. On bot side, they end up leaving and not really able to get much. So, you know, Thresh flash, super good. The Thresh is very, very jobless right now. Feeling very, very bad. I think he kind of just dies to anything.
Yeah, no.
But we get the knockback, the Pathmaker, and the TF is here. I think, you know, this is what I was saying. We want to punish on the K'Sante. Duke does get the all-out and the additional Pathmaker in the dash, but I think he is just going to die. Does give a kill over to the Aatrox. Feels pretty bad,
feels pretty bad, but
that's kind of what you're expecting to happen.
Yeah,
with the TF making that repeat play.
He gets to back. He gets to buy the ice. He gets to secure the Iceborne gauntlets. Or actually, I'm pretty sure he actually already had those. But he does get a couple more cloth armors and a boot, and a pair of boots for himself. So he is stacking up those resistances, and K'Sante will start doing K'Sante things very quickly here.
It's like Hashua trying to go aggressive under the turret here. Does have the Volibear with him. Going to get a scatter onto the TF. Going to get another Dark Sphere. But Xin Zhao is behind. Does end up using the Ghost. Yeah, I don't think the OSU is going to be able to do too much here. He wants to keep playing this out. Wind Becomes Lightning does hit. I think we're going to continue to chase on the Xin Zhao here. Another Scout of the Week comes out onto the TF. Summoner Heal comes out. We get the Unleashed Power. It does not quite kill. And then the Stormbringer comes in. Volibear wants to kill the Xin Zhao. They are going to get it. The tower is going to start doing some damage. Crossgu is going to die to the turret here, giving Jinx a reset. The Bingster hits the Scout of the Week on the Jinx. Barely not enough to take the kill there. They trade 1 for 1 and pick up the mid turret. Aatrox is here with the World Ender. Gonna have to use the flash out of Archive, but
so close to getting
Aatrox is not gonna push any further. I think K very lucky that Aatrox does not completely wipe them there.
100%.
They disengage it correctly the right way.
We are seeing a couple more. We are seeing that gold lead start to diminish a little bit more. Over the last couple of minutes, it has gone down from about a 5,000 gold lead to just about 3,000. And while it's still very good for the side of Kansas, we do see Volibear now is sitting very comfortably 2 items at 15 minutes. 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. That is going to be a problem for the side of Ohio State here very soon.
Yes. I think we're hoping, we would hope Syndra can pick up a second item completion before this Mountain Dragon. I kind of don't think we're going to be able to. We are up in components on the Jinx. I think we're just kind of up in item components kind of across the board. But the next fight is really going to be about, can Volibear get onto Jinx? Can we get a knock up onto Jinx to get Yasuo in there? Because the Yasuo is really strong, sitting on the Blade of the Ruined King and an extra crit cloak, so his damage is pretty high. OSU going to use their resources to go and hit up on the K'Sante. I don't really think that this is a great use of their time.
Yeah,
K'Sante probably just going to try to use the all-out into the all-out Pathmaker and just get out. He's going to use his flash and dash out. Xin Zhao is going to have another Wind Becomes Lightning. It does not hit. Ooh, the Bingster going to hit a Scout of the Week here on the Jinx. Big damage. Does miss on everything else, and the Unleashed Power not quite able to pick it up. The Dark Sphere comes, and Karasku comes.
And Archive picks
Archive
up
with the Summon Airy.
Yeah, the Summon Airy secures the kill, guys. That's why you should always run Summon Airy whenever you can. It's the best best rune in the game.
And at the end of it all, KU's going to be able to move down and pick up their 3rd dragon. Super good. Securing the soul, like putting a lot of pressure on them.
Yes.
Like, okay, you have to show up at the next fight. I don't think Jinx is going to have enough money to get to her Infinity Edge by the 4th dragon.
100%
and really,
not.
that's kind of what you're looking at is you want to get to IE to be able to really play. And no IE, no attack speed. Jinx did not opt for an attack speed item on 1.
Yeah.
So definitely going to be feeling pretty weak in these fights if she doesn't get any resets. It's going to be really hard to do any damage.
Going for the optics here is definitely an interesting play for the side of the Jinx because you really want to be able to have some kind of consistent damage dealer or attack speed, like you were saying. Going Yuntal's here would probably be very beneficial, but with how far behind she is, it's going to be pretty difficult for her to get ahead. And we're just going to see Kansas take this bot tower.
Yeah,
say, this is mine.
This is similar to that first game where we are trading the bot tier 2 for mid tier 1, except this time they have the Herald. So they're able to take that mid-tier 1 a lot faster, so we're not going to really be able to make a super collapse play, kind of like we did in Game 1. We're definitely trying. They're sticking around. Aatrox is going to drop the World Ender here, but the Bingster is able to get him away, and KU's going to be able to pick up the mid-wave, and not too much else is going to happen right now.
I'm very impressed by how this game has been going for the side of Kansas, and it's been like they've been oppressing this bot lane, making sure they can't get active. And they've been oppressing this Xin Zhao. This Xin Zhao is 0-5 at 18 minutes. He is 97 CS. He is 2 levels under this Volibear. That is not how you want to be playing this game right now. If you can't be online for your team when you are one of the main front lines along with your Aatrox, you are the main engage, and you're not going to have that ability to stay alive for this Aatrox, who is sitting at 2.5 items.
The Aatrox is definitely very strong on 2 full items there with the Sundered Sky. And K'Sante does have the Bramble Vest, but we'll kind of maybe want to see somebody pick up an Oblivion Orb when they can. I think Syndra will end up on it soon. The Bingster is going to be in here, does want to try to take out the TF, does get the Storm Surge proc, and the Tidal Wave is maybe going to be enough. Not quite. That's another just blinking red health bar. They're not able to quite finish up. But Xin Zhao is way out of position here. Probably does not even have his flash. Is going to use the ultimate there. Tried to take the Dark Passage out, but not able to click the Lantern. And
Rush Hook does go wide.
KU up numbers here. I think it's really hard for OSU to really play this out. They need to deal with the K'Sante on top side. And KU, we're just kind of applying pressure on the bot side to let this top play happen.
Yeah, no. A quick little note about what happened with that TF there. It was a high ground diff.
Really?
The Yasuo, I forget what it's called, the Tornado. it went through the TF.
It may have just been out of range. It looked like it might have just been out of range there.
It might have been. It looked very much so like a little difference in height there. But we are gonna see Kansas try to start securing more vision around the Drake very slowly as Drake does spawn in minute 40. Really want to make sure that they know where this Xin Zhao is. They need to have him on lock at every time.
Just take him out.
Yeah, just take him out. He's 0-6 right now, and he's at 21 minutes. So still is not at second item, while Volibear is probably close to his third. I wish we could see the total amount of gold right now, but safe to say that he is probably sitting relatively close to having his third item, given the fact that he is at 200 CS to 8 kills.
Jinx may actually be able to complete IE. I'm not sure. If she channels a reset before Dragon spawns, that means she has it. If she doesn't, then she doesn't.
Yeah, no.
Because we're already a minute till Dragon spawns, so you would really want to take your reset now.
Yeah.
So I think either she's going to have it and they'll show up late, or she won't have it and they just can't really fight at all. Yeah, Xante's going to walk in here. Jaybu wants to take the Pathmaker forward to hit on the Xin Zhao, and they're just going to kill this Thresh. That guy is super dead. They're going to get the stun from the Volibear. The Sky Splitter comes down. Frosku picks up a kill onto the Thresh, and, I mean, up numbers, no Thresh. You can kind of just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The only frontliner they really have is the Xin Zhao, and calling the 0-6 Xin Zhao a frontliner is a little comical.
Well,
so I think we're just going to look to take this Mountain Soul right here. Hashua needs to be a bit careful on the top side. He is the play to be made, because I really think that it would be really crazy for them to make this play. They are going to use the Destiny to try to make something happen here. Where's the TF going to port in? He's going to port in on top of the Binkster. Is going to get hit with the Aqua Prison. Binkster is going to be stunned out. Is going to die immediately. Jinx does get a reset, but the Xin Zhao dies. Yasuo is in. Aatrox has the World Ender. Is doing a ton of damage. Hashua is going to end up getting really low. They just jump on the Jinx and kill her instantly. And now we have a bit of a 3v3. Or a 2v3 going up there, and TF is just hitting on the Nami and not really able to do much. Volibear going to run in with the Thundering Smash, going to stun the TF, is going to fall. Thresh flash forward with the Dark Pass, is not able to save his mid laner, and again, another Thundering Smash for the Volibear is going to be another kill for Hashua, and that's a 4-for-1. That fight started out a little dicey because they were actually able to kill the Binkster right away, but I mean, they just don't really have enough in the tank to really deal with the Yasuo and the Volibear at this point.
Yeah, no, 100%. And once the Binkster secures this Void Staff that he's building down there, it's going to be pretty close to a wraps on this game. Kansas is currently sitting at just over a 6,000 gold lead here at 23 minutes. Secures the Mountain Soul. They're going to be tanky. They probably got their eyes set on this Baron. Binkster's he's alone.
Yeah, he is very far up. That's very ambitious. A very ambitious position to be in for the Binkster.
I'll commend him for it because he didn't die, but that's as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's what you should do in that situation, but I'll
With nothing on the map, they're going to want to try to play for Baron. They get the shove back on the Thresh. They get the last breath. They just kind of one-shot this Thresh. I think, you take a kill. Now move on to the Baron. Syndra still has ult. Nami still has ult. The last breath, you can see it ticking over. He used that like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
That thing's going to be up in another 20, 30 seconds.
And
super short cooldown.
All this Syndra needs to do is hold on to the Scouter of the Week, and it will just instantly be available for use. Or Jaybu can just use the All Out. There we go.
Yep, Xin Zhao is going to fall there. Not really able to do a whole lot in this game. And you have to imagine this Baron's going to go over. The Super Mega Death Rocket is intercepted by the Wind Wall. Frosku secures the Baron, and
they're all going to take their reset.
Everyone take a reset. Set up a 1-4, probably again in mid and top lane. I would guess that is where the two inner turrets are. So want to secure those inner turrets and then move to take some inhibitors.
And Twisted Fate does get a little bit of gold injected into him.
Aatrox is on a bit of a flank here. I think they're going to try to make a collapse up here. I think this is definitely very scary. Jaybu does have the teleport, and he does pop the teleport under the turret. Goldcard comes in onto Hashua. Aatrox only has a little bit of time. Oh my goodness, he just takes so much damage immediately. Pathmaker into the stun, and he just dies. Volibear has disabled the turret. The turret is now back online. Syndra's here in the back line, does one-shot the Jinx. Oh, and the last breath in onto 2, and that looks like it is wraps on this game. They're going to take a 5-for-0 fight.
Woo!
Decent-ish look, we'll call it, from
Yeah.
OSU. That's kind of the only play they can make up there. Aatrox on the long flank, feeling like, okay, we need to try to make something happen, and he just falls over immediately, and nothing anybody else can do. And with that, that is just going to be a
That
very,
is
very scary, very closer than it should have been, but a very good 2-1 victory for KU.
very good for the side of Kansas here as they break down these Nexus turrets and they decide that they are ready for finals. They are ready to take on whoever the winners of this next game will be. GG, Ohio State University. Good luck out there, and props to the side of Kansas for taking it home today.
Absolutely. It's awesome. Feels awesome. Feels great.
I bet it feels great to you.
Feels great to win. Even when, maybe we don't want where we're putting, maybe we don't want that number to say 1. Maybe we want that number to say 0. But, it's okay. We take those.
I gotta give it props to the entire team there. I'm gonna take back the little. I was very skeptical of this Sintra pick, but it turned out to be amazing for the Binkster.
Doubters beware.
Yeah, doubters beware, I guess. Holy, wow. I cannot say anything less than just I am amazed on how the entire side of Kansas was able to
Mhm.
really pick it up after what was a pretty devastating comeback for the side of Ohio
Yeah.
State.
Challenging game
during
2.
game
Good
2.
bounce back in game 3. Feels great.
And so now you guys move on to finals.
Mhm.
And that'll be next week, I'm guessing.
Hopefully
Hopefully.
we can get that going as soon as possible. And obviously, when awaiting the
Mhm.
result of Minnesota versus Utah, but yeah, I'm excited that we get to make it all the way to the finals.
And of course, as always, we will be broadcasting it here from the side of the University of Kansas here in the Union. Wow. Props to you, Ohio State. I really thought you could have maybe turned it around there during that game too, but very quickly my thoughts were were denied. GG, Ohio State University. Congrats to the University of Kansas for securing the 2-1 victory and moving on to finals in the Power Esports Conference. We will see you guys hopefully next week as we move on to the finals. And yeah, any closing words?
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you all for watching.
supporting us. We appreciate you.
We will see you guys later. Good night and goodbye.